Now, every week on the Entrepreneur Show, we speak to the most interesting people behind businesses. And this week is the turn of Paula Wilkinson, who I'm pleased to say is in the studio with me right now. And I've already found out during that break that she is very interesting. She's a director of Mumsbakecakes. Are you a director or the director?
The director, yes. Of Mumsbakecakes, yes.
It's a company that links cake makers to people searching for an alternative gift anywhere in the world to local home bakers. I read that and I thought, is that like... is it the Uber of cakes?
Absolutely. That's lots of London people keep saying that. It is absolutely Uber for cakes or Interflora for cakes. So there are bakers all over the country who hand deliver homemade cakes. So the orders are coming from Canada, Australia, New Zealand. We've had orders, but our local bakers hand deliver the homemade cakes.
But if these are homemade cakes, I'm guessing they don't have much in the way of preservatives. So how can you keep them fresh when you're delivering to far-flung places? Because
the bakers are based in the local area. So somebody from Canada, recently actually, put an order through to go to Croydon. The Croydon baker picked up the order and she hand-delivered in her local area, so within a 2-mile radius from the order that came from Canada. So they're very fresh. They're made usually on the day, maybe the day before, and hand-delivered with a smile. All bakers are fully registered and insured to cover the safety.
So you're centralising the order process then?
Yes.
Effectively.
Yes, absolutely. And so some of the bakers only deliver in... We have one lady who only delivers in a 2-mile radius, and actually she cycles to do it, but other people obviously drive.
So how is this different from just a kind of general directory of bakers, if you like, a sort of yellow pages of bakers? Because
anybody anywhere now can find a baker in their area. We have hundreds of bakers, right from Glasgow down to Devon and across quite a few in London, and bakers joining us all the time. So you now can go on. We've probably got the largest online cakes available to see. We have over 4,000 cakes actually on the site now that people can order, cupcakes, wedding cakes, all the way through to a coffee and walnut Victoria sponge cake. So we have everything. It's the bakers upload what they want, what they've made previously. It's all their own pictures.
Can you search by type of cake as well as by area?
Area is the first thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a very green issue. Yeah. We only want the cake to travel the shortest distance.
Sure.
So its area is the predominant search.
So once you found all the bakers in your area, are you then able to kind of hone down to the types of cake that they bake?
Yes. So on the search, you can also, some of the bakers are obviously doing allergy cakes, like gluten-free, vegan.
Very popular.
And yes, and vegan they do some fabulous vegan cakes. We recently sent some cakes down to Brighton that a vegan baker. I think it was something to do with halal as well. And it had to be halal made, and a vegan baker was able to link to exactly what they needed for that cake.
You've sold me. This is a great idea.
Thank you.
Well, not just for cakes. I mean, there should be a company like yours for practically every product, because I mean, I'm a keen user of Google search for well, everyone's a keen user of Google search. I mean, of Google Maps. So, for example, if I'm looking for somebody to fix my car, I will go on Google Maps and just kind of, your location is discovered automatically, and then I'll just search, for mechanics in a couple of mile radius. Now you'll then get the locations of the mechanics, and you'll usually get brief details about them, but they won't be the difference is that they won't have kind of homed in on the particular skills of those particular mechanics. It'll just kind of be brief links to the websites of those people or whatever.
Yep.
But nobody will have actually gone to the trouble to kind of tick various boxes. This mechanic does this kind of thing and this kind of thing and this kind of thing. So it's very difficult. You end up actually going to all their websites, looking through all the different information.
Absolutely.
And similarly, whilst I haven't searched for a cake recently, I can imagine I'd go through a similar process normally, whereas yours, I love that idea that not only do you find out the bakers in the local area, but then you can very quickly find out what, if you're looking for specific types of cake, you don't have to go and search every single baker's website for information.
Absolutely. And it's an ideal gift. We've had quite a lot of corporate clients come to us, but it's an ideal gift for further afield. The bakers for themselves, they can often capture their local area.
Yeah.
It's to aid them to get inquiries from further afield, but even so, they still only deliver in the area that they've decided.
Oh, and who sets the prices for the cakes, and how much do the bakers get?
Right, the bakers set the prices of the cakes.
Right.
So they decide. We try to help them so that they are making a decent living because, as I said, all our bakers are fully registered and insured. So they've been checked out by the environmental health, and they are running a small business. Some of them just work weekends. Some of them are doing this full time. And again, they can put themselves on and off the site when they want to. So they set the price.
Like an
for
Uber
the cakes.
driver.
Absolutely.
And so what kind of scale have you reached so far?
We have hundreds of bakers. We're topping about 200 bakers, and all of them do various different areas.
Did you have to phone them all up yourself and arrange, get them interested and all the rest of it?
There has been a lot of that, but Facebook is fabulous at sending out information to them.
Yeah.
And we've been at the cake and bake shows, both in London and Manchester. We're going to the This Morning Live. They've got an exhibition going on. We're going on to that in May. And we've just recently won the Great British Entrepreneur of the Year.
Hooray!
Hooray for food and drink.
Well done.
So again, lots of publicity obviously helps for bakers to see that it's actually working for our bakers.
So what's your business model? How do you make money out of it, potentially?
The bakers pay to go on the site initially.
Right.
But we only charge £35 a year
Okay.
for them to go on the site because the baking industry doesn't make an awful lot of money.
So you don't take a cut of each cake?
We do, but it's 14% of the cake sale. Now, from that...
It's a lot better value than Uber.
Absolutely. And as I said, the bakers choose their prices and the areas that they're happy to deliver for free. So when you go and look for a cake, the price that you see is the price that you pay. So when you go out all the way through to the checkout, you know exactly what you're going to pay. There's no delivery charges because the bakers have chosen where they want to deliver to.
And I'm interested to know, because obviously the Great British Bake Off has been such a massive hit in the past few years. So we're seeing a resurgence of interest in baking. But is that good or bad for bakers? Because if everybody's baking their own cakes, do they actually need less from bakers, or are the viewers just getting hungrier and ordering more cakes from bakers?
But I think you're absolutely right. I think more people are trying it. We've had lots of bakers that have turned their passion into a business. So we do help them to try and turn that into a small business.
I've got a friend who wants to do that, and she bakes unbelievably clever-looking cakes. So I'll tell her to get into it.
Absolutely. But their problem for all the bakers is they can't get outside their area. There's no way they could advertise nationally, internationally, like we are. And we are trying to attract the orders from further afield and from corporate clients.
Right. This is interesting stuff. Just tell me very quickly what you were doing before you started this company.
Various different things. I was in Yellow Pages for a while. I was the sales manager for Yellow Pages for about 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Then my husband started an IT company, so I've been working with him, doing his marketing and advertising. And this all came about last year because I needed to get a cake to my niece, who wasn't very well, up in North Wales. And unfortunately, she's died now, but she had breast cancer. And the idea was I wanted to get her gift. We knew it would be her last birthday, and flowers weren't appropriate. She was only 44. Flowers weren't appropriate, nor were little trinkets. So she used to love having cakes, and she's been down to the Ritz. She lives, as I said, she lives up in North Wales. So I wanted to get her a cake, and I couldn't find anyone that would deliver a cake. So my sister, who lives up there, went to a local baker's, and I drove 600-mile round trip, and I hand-delivered a cake to my niece. And it was that light bulb moment where you think, this is silly. And from there, I spoke to her about it, so she knew before she died that this was the idea behind the business, and she backed it all the way and
Oh,
told all
that's
the family.
fantastic.
So that's how it all started. One of those light bulb moments.
Well done, and very good
Thank
luck
you.
with Mum's Baked Cakes.
Thank
I think
you.
it'll be a great success.
Thank you.
So that was Paula Wilkinson there joining us in the studio, director of Mum's Baked Cakes.